Good evening, everyone. All of my colleagues didn't follow their instructions, but that's when you work with principals who are passionate about education. I just want to talk firstly about my journey with the principal of Portia Primary in Lansdowne. For me, it was quite a humbling experience. The first thing I want to say, it is still taking us time to get to know each other. We've started on a good footing, we laid a good foundation, and it required commitment to set regular meetings and hold each other accountable. That, I think, was very, very critical. I don't think people realize how much commitment it takes. But I am pleased that both of us held each other accountable. If we couldn't make it, we communicated to say, can we reschedule? And I think we developed in that process mutual respect for each other, for our skills, our capacities, and I think that's important in any relationship, that the foundation is sound. I want to say we both enjoyed each other's passion for this country, for education as a whole, and for the learners at Portia Primary. So that is our journey together. And I think Kevin is going to go into what we did together. May I jump the slides and make it easy and say, what did this mean for me? I mean, I've always been passionate about education. But this partnership gave me an opportunity to be there at the coal face and to see and hear what principals have to be to maintain a good school. They have to be principals, they have to be educators, they have to be fathers. When I go to the school, I'm often touched how Kevin would stop and he would get a hug from a learner. A learner would put his arms around him and he would say something. So that was interesting because we criticize principals a lot. We criticize educators, but I have seen a principal with a really big heart. For me, how did I change? I'm a better person. I've become a better mother. I've become a better wife. I've become a more caring South African, a more caring African because of working with Kevin and being in this program.
Okay, can I move this side?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucille. Ladies and gentlemen, when I first met Lucille, I thought, Chrysalis, now what? What does Chrysalis want from us? Because it was quite clear that money was not on the table. But what was on the table? That was my big question. And it's through this engagement that I actually realized, but you know what? There's so much more to money. Here's this fantastic resource in the form of Lucille Meyer. In fact, Dr. Lucille Meyer, who has just given of herself and her institution to us as a school. And as a school, we've benefited. There were many little things that we've done. They would send students out to come and clean our school, come and wash windows. They took our kids on the prefect camps. I've been to numerous of their events, graduation events. Lucille has been to our events. But you know what was the beauty of it all? And it all just dawned on me while I was sitting here. Our school is 50 years old this year. And for the next 10 years, the plan is that we need to focus on collaboration. And we've started this process. We've started the process here. And I've already given Mark a call. I've already given a few people, I had conversations with them. Because we need to tap into one another as resources, so that at the end of the day, we can have a better school, a better province, a better country, and eventually a better world. So that is what has happened. How has I grown as an individual? Many things. Let me just go to my note quickly. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I've listed 4 things, but there's a host of things. The 4 crucial ones for me is that I've realized that as a country, as a school, as individuals, we're not having enough conversations. So we need to create time to have conversations, to listen to one another, to acknowledge one another, to respect one another, and in that way we'll move forward. So what has happened is, in the school environment, that's exactly what I've tried to do. And I'm sure sometimes the teachers will look funny at me and think, so, okay, but why don't you have an opinion? Actually, I do have an opinion, but is it important to the conversation? No, because we need to hear you. We need to hear your voice. And so that has been the big thing for me. The next thing is the intersectoral collaboration. I just love that one. Through my partnership with Lucille, I've had access to our current Premier, the Minister of Safety, Minister of Social Development, and that's via this network. And I'm hoping that eventually Portia and the surrounding schools can benefit from their greater involvement. Because we need to push this, Mr. Philander, Ms. Christian. It shouldn't just be a conversation where we say intersectoral collaboration. We should actually make it happen, where education and other departments works closer together so that we can affect change. And then, of course, reimagining yourself. So many people have mentioned that already, and the big thing for me is just being this reflective practitioner, thinking, how was the day? How did it go? What did I do? What did I achieve? What was said? And it just makes you a better person if you think constantly about, okay, so how did it actually go? And what do I need to do? Then the systemic impact. Now, I was fortunate to go and listen to Peter Tabishi, who also happens to be the World Teacher of the Year. You know who he is, eh? And there's one thing he said which really stuck with me, and it is, what is your impact on the system? So as teachers, we think when we function and we do well and our kids is okay in our class, we're fine. But we forget there's actually a school of learners there. And then we forget, but there's a community within Lansdowne. And eventually, there's all these learners in South Africa. So it's about the system's impact. And those are the things that keeps me up at night, makes me think, how are we going to get this thing right? Because it's daunting currently, but it is possible to find the solutions. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, in education or wherever you are, we are the creators of hope. We need to create hope for our kids. And those are the things that have stuck with me through this year or has become clearer as the year has progressed. Okay? And then finally, our way forward. Just move along now. Some of the pics that you are seeing is what we refer to as softening the environment. We've just embarked on a project where we're trying to make the environment more conducive to teaching and learning. The pics tells their own story. Just continue, Andre, please. Future. There we go. So, Lucille and I have started this conversation. What is it that we need to do next? And so it's about mobilizing our parents, mobilizing our teachers, so that we all realize that we all have a role to play. So that's sort of key for us. And it's about capacity building. And then already we have a conversation, we've started a conversation with Mark and Tanya about how do we track our learners through the system. Because one passion that Lucille has, remember her institution deals with learners who met with some challenge along the way and eventually became a bit despondent, and they land up at Lucille. And Lucille them, recondition them, Lucille them, work with them, to change their thinking and their mindsets and all that. So Lucille's passion is, what needs to happen so that they don't come there? The school need to fix it. And that's what I love. And then the final one is, Lucille and I are currently busy with a proposal, and we've already started sending it out. Premier is aware of it. The Albert Fritz is aware of it. MEC for Safety, Community Safety. Where we're trying to see how we can get chrysalis graduates into schools so that the burden of discipline, the burden of so many things that teachers face currently can be alleviated in some way so that we can get support for teachers. So that's something we're currently working on. Currently it's in its infancy stage, but we've started speaking about it to the right people. Okay, so that's our future projects. Lucille, anything from your side?
I think just to say, it's been a journey of really taking one step back and then two, so one step forward, two back, and then 10 forward. So that has been wonderful. The community of practice, now when I look back, it was wonderful to learn from each other and to have conversations about the challenges. So I think that was also very critical. To end off, if I may go, because I'm supposed to do part of the thanks, but as you know, everybody did the thanks. But I really want to start off by telling you about a special woman who I see at the back, Louise van Rijn. Let me tell you quickly about her. Before Partners for Possibility was formed, I met this woman that I thought was a bit fanatical about the education system. Every time I heard her, she said to us, there is no Superman and there is no Superwoman who will come over the mountains to fix the education system, to fix issues of poverty and unemployment in this country. She said, we are the supermen and women. And she's here. I wish to thank her on behalf of our whole COP for having the dream. And now years later and many difficulties, we can all stand up here and share how, in a small way, we are making sure that each learner has what I call a fighting chance. You know, all our learners don't have a fighting chance. But with this program, with business leaders coming together with principals, we are trying to give each and every South African child a shot at success. And so deep gratitude from all of us, Louise, to you. Paul, you have been thanked already, but I want to say you are special. You know, we think sometimes people with loud voices are important, and we think it's the loudest voice that has the most impact. And you've shown us that in a way where I am myself, I connect with people at a heart level. So deep gratitude from the whole COP for journeying with us, for having patience with those who didn't submit on time. And there were many who did and still are. So you have had patience because you said these are adults who have made a commitment and let them rise to the occasion. So deep gratitude to you and your family for the time you've put into the program. You know, I was listening to a song this morning by John Denver, and he says, every child wants to learn. You know, every child wants to feel. Every child wants to see. Every child has a dream. And I think that is what this program is about. My last word of thanks is to my partner, his wife, Deirdre Walensky, who has been supporting us behind the scenes. I am better because of you. Thank you. Thank you. So we must thank everybody.
Okay, and then finally, I was now given this task, and you probably saw this. I always tell the people, Lucille maak my moeg. She is busy, and she keeps me on my toes, and I appreciate her, and I love her for that. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the COP, participants, business partners, principals, we know it's been a good journey. It's been a difficult journey. Lots of sacrifice, but we made it. We are here today. We're celebrating that. Let's enjoy today. But thank you. I'm also a better person for meeting everyone in this room. So let's enjoy ourselves. I think the food is ready. And then, yeah. Thank you. Mark, over to you.